William Regal dismisses reports about his health. There's the reason why the Briscoes won't be coming to All Elite Wrestling. Plus, Jeff Hardy comments on possibly feuding once again with CM Punk, and Scorpio Sky reveals if he's going to be carrying 2 TNT championships. All this and more in today's AEW news. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestle News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. So let's start off talking about William Regal. Now, a report came out yesterday saying that William Regal was dealing with serious health issues. It came from Dave Meltzer. We spoke about it yesterday, and by the time I'd recorded it and then uploaded it, William Regal came out and dismissed it. That's how it works. It's always the way. You talk about a story because you want to be quick on it, and then it comes out, and then someone goes, no, that's not true. Now, William Regal took to Twitter yesterday and denied a report that claimed he is dealing with serious health issues. It was reported earlier on in the day via the Wrestling Observer newsletter how Regal's health issues are, quote, far more serious than he's ever let on, and that he recently detailed those issues in a Talk Is Jericho interview with Chris Jericho that will be released next week. It was noted that Regal, in this week's AEW Dynamite promo, referenced, quote, not having long left, while explaining his reasons for wanting to join Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson together in AEW, and how that caused people to be concerned. It was also mentioned how Regal, in media interviews and his autobiography, has been open about his substance abuse issues that nearly killed him several years ago. In an update, Regal dismissed the reports on Twitter yesterday afternoon, saying he's healthier than he's been in years, and indicated that he discussed his health issues from 2018 and not currently in the Jericho interview to air next week. He said, quote, already, that's why I stay out of the rumor mill and gossip. I've just found out that there's things being printed about my health. I'm healthier than I've been in many years. I talked this week to someone about the things that happened to me in 2018, Regal wrote. Now, Regal was diagnosed with a heart defect back in 2003, which led him to having quite a significant amount of time away from the ring. He revealed in a tweet from November 16, 2019, that he underwent open heart surgery 1 year before that in 2018 to remove a, quote, calcified pericardium. Regal noted that in the 29 tweet that he was healthy and fit as a butcher's dog following the surgery. So when he mentions this, and again, it doesn't take a lot of research to figure out, I suppose, when he's talking to Jericho, he's probably talking about, I had open heart surgery in 2018, and now I'm fit and healthier than ever. That's probably what he was talking about. Now, I think something has to be said about this, to be honest with you, because it came from a report by Dave Meltzer. But Dave Meltzer spoke about it. I don't know if it was in the Wrestling Observer newsletter or was on the Wrestling Observer radio show. Either way, it was a Dave Meltzer report, and frankly, if it were any other reporter, to be honest, if it were smaller, lesser-known reporters, they would not be trusted ever again. And there have been several instances over the course of the last 2 years or so where Dave Meltzer has said things and just got them, openly and massively wrong. Massively wrong. And this is another one, and it's serious. Saying someone has serious health issues or far serious than's ever been known, and then it comes out as, no, I'm healthy, I'm fine. That's a big deal. That's something big to get wrong and put out there as false information. Or, and I don't think it was intentionally put out there like, oh, I know this is false, I'm going to put it out there. I think it's Dave Meltzer hearing things and not double checking. Dave Meltzer's got the wherewithal, and Dave Meltzer's got the contacts to surely get in touch with William Regal himself, or at least someone very, very close to him. This sounds like a case of, telephone tell a wrestler. He heard that William Regal spoke about his health issues with Chris Jericho, and he put that out there, but he didn't do any diving into it himself. And again, this report I'm reading here, it doesn't take a genius to go, actually, it said in a tweet back in 2019 that he had heart surgery a year ago. That's 2018. If he's talking about the health issues he had in 2018, that means his open heart surgery. That's what it means. So again, I think there needs to be some real scrutiny on stuff like this. And that's why I'm not in the scoops game whatsoever, because I don't have sources or anything like that. I just read the news and give my opinion on it, and that's what this channel is, and I feel like that's what you guys like. And it is concerning, because I think, how would I feel if I'm William Regal's shoes? Imagine, and again, he's open that he's not on social media that much and all that kind of stuff, and then he hears, oh, I hope you're doing well, and he's like, what are you on about? well, I heard you're having serious health issues. What are you talking about? That's the problem. And I know that's an issue bigger than pro wrestling. I know that's an issue with social media in general, but that's an issue. But the positive thing coming out of it is that William Regal doesn't have any health issues, and he's fit and healthier than ever. I don't think he's going to be wrestling in AEW. I saw that he was put on he was in initially the coaches page, and then he was put in the actual active roster page. He's not going to be wrestling. I would be stunned, flabbergasted, if William Regal is wrestling. Not just because of the heart issues, because in 2003, when he had those heart issues, it was actually after a tour of India. He went to India, and I feel like he picked up a virus or something like that, and he was out of the ring for, I want to say, like a year or 18 months, a really long time. But he continued to wrestle way after that. The reason he had to retire was because he had neck surgery. He's got a big, long scar down the back of his neck. He had neck surgery. So he's not going to wrestle again, I'm aware of. And I don't think he should, frankly. An update when it comes to the Briscoes. Now, the Briscoes, Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, since Ring of Honor went away, people assumed that they were going to be coming into AEW. They teased feuding with FTR, and given how much of an emphasis AEW has on tag team wrestling, it made a lot of sense that the Briscoes, one of the best tag teams in recent history, would be going to AEW, right? Well, that's not going to happen. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, are reportedly not expected to sign with AEW anytime soon. There have been rumors on AEW signing the Briscoes since Ring of Honor went on hiatus back in December, and the recent social media beef between the Briscoes and AAA World Tag Team Champions FTR added to that speculation. In an update, Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp is reporting that a person of influence at Warner Media did not want Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe signed to AEW, mainly due to Jay's homophobic tweets back in 2013. Jay ended up apologizing for those tweets shortly after he made them at a Ring of Honor show. It was noted that prior to the Ring of Honor sale, there was talk that AEW did not have plans to sign the Briscoes. There's no word yet on if there's even interest from AEW, but the Warner Media higher up not wanting the Briscoes signed would be an issue even if there was interest. Ring of Honor sources noted that to the Briscoes' credit, they hadn't caused any issues for the company since those tweets. One AEW source added that the Briscoes were made for TV, but you can't blame AEW or Warner Media. And regarding the rumors of FTR versus the Briscoes, word is that as of a month ago, there were no imminent plans for the two teams to wrestle in Ring of Honor, AEW, or anywhere else for that matter, but that was before AEW purchased Ring of Honor, which could have changed things. The Briscoes and FTR are interested in having the match, and multiple indie promoters have been willing to pay significant money to make it happen, at least by independent pro wrestling standards. There is no confirmation that the Briscoes will be part of the new AEW-owned Ring of Honor. They were previously announced to defend the titles against opponents to be named at Supercard of Honor 15 on Friday, April 1st, but of course that was before the AEW purchase, and a recent report noted that they are not actually locked in for the show just yet. The Briscoes, that very night, are scheduled to face the Good Brothers at Impact Wrestling's Multiverse of Matches event. So, I see a lot of people will be saying things like this, why are they letting executives and all that kind of stuff influence who they bring in? Because that's the network they air on. So, if a Warner Media executive doesn't want them for a particular reason, and it's a PR issue, and I definitely don't agree with his tweets, then so be it. I think the biggest question comes when it comes to Ring of Honor, of course. How much of an influence is Warner Media going to have of Ring of Honor? Again, we don't really know the finer details when it comes to Ring of Honor and Tony Khan's vision for Ring of Honor, where it's going to be airing. If Ring of Honor programming is going to be airing on Warner Media stations, or networks rather, whether it's TNT, TBS, or True TV, or you name it, then that's a problem for the Briscoes, because they won't be wanted there, frankly. So we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that one. Of course, if it's on a different network, then that might be a bit different. We just know that the Briscoes aren't going to really have much of a crossover. The whole Ring of Honor situation, I've done a couple of videos about it, is so uncertain right now, and a lot of the details aren't known when it comes to Supercard of Honor. It was thrown into disarray by the sale because they had plans, and those plans have changed dramatically, and no one really knows what's going on at the moment. So it's unfortunate because I'm a fan of the Briscoes' work, certainly, and a lot of people have wanted to see the Briscoes versus FTR, versus, the Hardys now in AEW, or versus Jurassic Express, the Lucha Brothers. I mean, the list is endless of the great tag teams that they have, but a Warner Media executive doesn't want them in there, and I think for, a valid reason, and doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Speaking of feuds, Jeff Hardy and CM Punk. One of my sort of more favourite feuds, to be honest with you, from, I was going to say recent WWE history, but it's really not. It's like over a decade ago now. It's what? That was 2009, and so it's like 13 years ago. Man, time flies so quickly, because I remember watching and thoroughly enjoying that feud. That's when it was Jeff Hardy's final year in WWE. Super over, but he was only a couple of months away from leaving and getting into a whole load of legal trouble, frankly. CM Punk was sort of rising up as a heel in WWE for the first time, but then his legs got cut out from him completely, frankly. But he was rising up, and it was the whole straight edge versus someone that had substance abuse issues. I wasn't massively keen on the feud in the sense that, once again, it was trivializing, playing out Jeff Hardy's substance abuse issues, but the feud was great, the matches were great, and the feud became very, very real, because once Jeff Hardy left WWE, he, on several occasions, well, certainly there's a very famous video of Jeff Hardy in a truck stop, completely out of his mind on substances, doing a promo on CM Punk, and it's very, very sad and very ugly. Now, it's been nearly 13 years since the highly acclaimed feud between Jeff Hardy and CM Punk concluded on the August 28 episode of SmackDown. Now, both men, of course, find themselves in AEW, and Jeff Hardy wouldn't mind revisiting their issue. During a virtual Signed by Superstars meeting, Hardy talked about how he's excited for potentially crossing paths with Punk again due to their history. He said, quote, "Very excited for sure. There's so much history there, you know." So whether or not Jeff Hardy has that feud with CM Punk, we'll wait and see. I mean, Jeff Hardy might want it, but we don't really know what CM Punk's perspective is, right? For all of these years, we'd heard Jeff Hardy say these things about Punk, and again, that video was out there of him in that truck stop doing that promo on CM Punk, but we don't really know his perspective on it, or if I doubt he's probably even spoken to Jeff Hardy in all of these years, because since 2009, CM Punk and Jeff Hardy have never been in the same place, as far as we're aware, right? Never. So I doubt this. Probably if they spoke this past Wednesday backstage at Dynamite, was probably the first time they'd spoken in nearly 13 years. Whether or not we'll see Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk, I mean, there's so much history there that it would be a crime not to revisit it and properly close that chapter the right way, but we'll have to wait and see. One of them's got to be a heel, I suppose, and I think it would probably be CM Punk, not Jeff Hardy, so that's very interesting too. Finally, Scorpio Sky has revealed that he's only going to be carrying one TNT championship, thank God. It was so dumb with Sammy Guevara carrying around two titles, by the way. I know one was an interim and then he won the title, but the whole point of having an undisputed champion is that there's one bout. You don't carry around both of them afterwards. It's very odd. But new AEW TNT champion Scorpio Sky has given one of his title bouts to Dan Lambert. Of course, Scorpio Sky defeated Sammy Guevara in the main event of Wednesday's AEW Dynamite to become the new champion. Guevara had been carrying two TNT title bouts since defeating Cody Rhodes to become the undisputed TNT champion in the ladder match at Beach Break on January 26. In an update, Sky took to Twitter yesterday afternoon and announced that he will only be carrying one title bout. Sky said he's gifted the other bout to Lambert to put front and center at the American Top Team facility. He said, quote, "I will only be carrying one TNT title from now on, as I've gifted the other to Dan Lambert to put front and center at American Top Team, surrounded by the countless championships won in the UFC, Bellator, and all other major promotions." So again, thank God, because that to me just made no sense, and I was not a fan of that. So good to know that Scorpio Sky is going to be carrying around just one championship as opposed to two, because I understood it, the point of there was an interim bout and an actual official bout, but it's like in the UFC, you have interim champions and proper champions, and when they have an undisputed title fight, at the end they hold up both bouts, but at the next fight they're not carrying both of them. So the fact that he was carrying the second bout for such a long time, to me, really did not make a load of sense. So I'm glad to see that Scorpio Sky is going to only be carrying one, and maybe they told Sammy Guevara, look, just carry the second one around because we want to have the second bout in Dan Lambert's facility. Maybe, right? That might be the way, that might be the justification for it. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on today's AEW news stories in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestle News 365, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.